Sorrell Foundation Young Design Project with Lambeth College. Personally, I thought, at first I didn't think the work was too good. Okay, personally, at first I didn't really like the work that the university students produced. But after a while, we communicated a lot more, and after that, we gave them feedback on what we wanted as like a design thing for our college. And yeah, I think they're really good.
Well, I think the final outcomes were really good, but personally, it was very hard for me to work as a client because give ideas to our designers were kind of difficult for me because I have to get ideas, but not to give them too much. It's hard to let them think what they have to do basically. So yeah, I think they've done a good job.
Hello, I'm Davina. I think that it was a good experience working with the Greenwich University students. Also, I think it was good being the clients because it was quite hard to please us at times, and there was a bit of lack of communication. In regards to the blog, we had difficulty accessing it at first, so that's probably why there was a lot of communication. But overall, I think the Greenwich students reached our brief quite well. I like the logo. I think it's everybody wanted to have some sort of symbolic sign plus still saying that of college. So I think that was quite successful. With the avatars, they looked a bit weird, that's why we didn't really like them at first. But overall, I do think it was a good idea, but maybe it needs to be developed a bit more. But yeah, the advertisement as well was quite good. But it's a bit confusing, but I do think overall they looked really well. So well done, Greenwich students.
We really appreciate the hard work you guys have been doing for us, and I know that you guys have had a lot of problems with the student IDs and everything, but in the end I see that you guys have solved a lot of problems, especially with the prospectus guide, because when I looked at the prospectus guide, it seemed very colorful and it seemed appealing to his target audiences, such as age groups, all these massive buildings and these colors and these footballs and everything on it was really good, and yeah, I really liked it. Also the logo as well, and the final logo that you showed, it was very colorful, and I know that we did want something to be colorful. Maybe so we do like the work that you did in the final logo. And in the end, I also want to say thank you as well, because working with Greenwich University students, you're a degree student, and that kind of helps us to understand how it's like to work in a degree course. And we did get a lot of advice from the degree students as well. So we just want to say thank you for everything.
Last minute I asked Anton and Pierre to download and show you the design of the exhibition, just to describe you what you're going to see in the next half an hour when you go to the NAD. Unfortunately, it's a music break. Right, unfortunately it's not downloaded yet, so we'll ask Lucy from the Southeast Lifelong Learning Network, or Celery something, to talk to you a bit about the program and also to promise us that we're going to have money for next year.
Thank you. It's great after 2 years you've finally learned what we are, who we are. But, I just wanted to say a couple of things very quickly. First of all, it's been a joy to fund this project on behalf of the South East London Lifelong Learning Network. And we were actually set up to really support students from FE colleges to be able to progress successfully into higher education, and also for universities to learn more about the talent and potential that's actually in our local FE colleges in London. So, and I think what this project actually enables us to do is to allow students from FE colleges the time to really understand what's going on in universities, to meet university students and work with them, and really make an informed decision about what university course you might want to go to and what it's like to be at university. I also think it gives HE staff and FE staff the opportunity to work together and learn more about each other's programs. One of the big issues I think at the moment is that universities are getting more and more restricted in terms of student numbers and more funding demands. So it's getting harder and harder to get the places you want at university. And what I'd like you to remind you all is projects like this can really enhance your opportunity to get university places, because you can use it for your portfolios, you can talk about processes which lots of other students perhaps haven't had the opportunity to do yet. And also, hopefully the feedback from students on this programme has been they feel much more confident in talking about their portfolio and in their interviews at HE. So we have noticed an increase of applicants to the University of Greenwich from last year. I think it's about a 70%, 60% increase from last year. And all I can say is from today, looking at today and listening to the students, I think Greenwich will be really lucky to have you. So thank you very much, and thank you again from the Sorrell Foundation for funding this project.
We're getting there, right? Unfortunately, it takes time to download. Just briefly, before I ask Ian Thompson and Francis Sorrell to come here to talk to you and give the certificates to the students, briefly what you're going to see, by the time we finish in people, we're going to finish from here, you're going to get a bagel, salami with salad, cheese, and fish with cream cheese, so you can choose, it's going to be outside. So, when you go to the exhibition, to the Design and Art Director exhibition down to Brick Lane, you will see the stand. It's exactly on the right when you're coming in, and you will see not only the final designs, but mainly the process of the design. You will see a timeline describing each phase of the project from the 11th of May till the 28th of May that we had the meetings and everything. So you will start from the left and finish on the right. There are 3 screens as well that you can see the blocks, and also you can see the brand book and stereoscopic, 3D views of the landscape, of the Sorrell College landscape. So, Ian and Francis, would you like to come?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ian Thompson. I work for the Sorrell Foundation, and delighted to introduce Lady Frances Sorrell, one of the founders of the Sorrell Foundation. And we've been working with you guys, most of you guys in the room, throughout the year on this program. Well, actually, I should say throughout the year preparing this program, because it's been a very short program. And one of the things I'd like to say is I'm very impressed by what you've managed to achieve within 3 weeks. I think it's 3 weeks worth of work. You've gone a long way and produced some very, very exciting concepts. Frances,
I'm very impressed with what you've all done. It's not just the design elements, there's some very sophisticated work there, but it's also learning how difficult it is to actually understand one another. And there are jobs in the creative industries, but actually in a way more important, they're jobs to have informed clients, having good clients out there. So whatever line of business you end up in, you might commission design, because design is, every business needs design. And so to actually understand how the process works, how you have to communicate with designers and encourage them, because you can be negative and get really bad work if you don't encourage the design process. So being a good informed client is as important as being a good designer. So well done to all of you. I think you've done really, really well, especially as Ian said, in such a very short period of time. To produce an entire brand book in 3 weeks, that's a knockout. Really well done.
Well done, everybody. And to sort of echo some of the things that Lucy was saying, certainly for the FE students who maybe, I think you've probably gone through the process of making applications to higher education this year, because I think you're all in your second year. But when you're thinking about future applications or getting job experience or whatever, think about the things you've done during this short process. It's been quite interesting. You've done. It's great to get out and think about where you've been. You've been working at Whitechapel Gallery, which is one of London's premier galleries, very exciting space. You've exhibited it at New Blood, which is a kind of a nationwide exhibition of the very best of graphic design in this country. You've been to YDP, which is one of the world's largest architectural practices. You've had a look around there. And of course you've been to Greenwich University, which is well known for all sorts of different subjects, and you've spent time there and you've experienced that. And I think to gather those sorts of experience is a really important thing, and don't forget to mention it when you write your covering statements and your letters and your applications. And when you go and see people to try and get work experience, it's all part of your portfolio of experience that you're building up. So well done everybody for that, that's brilliant. I think that's all I want to say, apart from a special well done to the FE students for voicing their discontent. You've clearly done that very well, and as Francis said in not a wholly negative way, and I think you've played your role as clients very well. And I'd also like to recommend anybody who's a visitor from outside who hasn't taken a look at the blog, the website and then the two project blogs. I think they're really fantastic examples of how virtual learning environments can be really well used. And I've seen a lot of virtual learning environments. A lot of the time they're really not very exciting, not very dynamic, but these are really great projects. And I think we hope that the Young Design Programme, certainly working with FE colleges, has a future and will continue to grow. And if we are able to grow, then we're certainly going to be using the example of this virtual space as something to build upon. So well done. And finally, just from me, big thanks to everybody involved, to my colleagues Lucy and Anastasius who run the project with me, to University of Greenwich for hosting the project, to the FE colleges, and in particular to the FE tutors, to Politis Tessa for championing this work and for organising it. So well done. And a huge thank you, biggest thank you to all of the students from Lambeth College, from Southwark College, and from University of Greenwich who've been involved. And also, I should say, a huge thanks to the mentors, in particular Johnny, who's with us today, for his involvement. So well done, everybody. Can we have a round of applause for all of you? Before we go up to New Blood to have a look at the exhibition, there will be bagels, and I'll talk about bagels in a few moments. Well, there's a bit of a story you should know about bagels. What we're delighted to be able to do also is hand out certificates of achievement for everybody who's participating in the project. So could we ask for the University of Greenwich design teams to come up to the front stage first of all? Let's have a big round of applause to